Okay, we're going to be on our layer manager today, the dragon layer in Dragon's Prophet. So let's get started. On the first page you have here in Dragon Layer, you have dragon info. This is where your skill layout's going to be and all the statistics for your dragon. Just like your character sheet page, it'll give you a breakdown of that particular dragon. Purple skills, same ones you can see on the P key window, are Dragon Soul skills that your player can use. The gray skills are your combat skills. They also include your passive skills that apply to either to the dragon or to the player. And then they have this sorting portion here. There's also this little trash can on the side where you can drag and drop skills. Pay 50 cents at the moment to get rid of a skill if you don't want it. You can apply that either to training your dragons with only combat skills or getting rid of unwanted skills to before you try to remove dragons off of another dragon. For example, if I were to remove elite skills so I can move a skill. That's a little bit more in depth than I really want to be. But these elite skills are your gathering skills. We'll go to this dragon here. Uh, Under his process, he's got a 50% boost to his cloth collection because he has 10, 15, and 25% to textile collection. That gives him 50%. That does give you a significant boost if you get all three on one dragon, but any boost is worth it if you're going to do gathering of materials, either for auction house, selling, or for crafting on your own. The very first page is special schedule. If you're in a guild, you'll see recording and dragon cries, but when you start the game, you'll only see dragon training 1. It's not really worth it, in my opinion, as it only gives 60 taming experience, and most normal collections, even if you don't have a boost, offer 60 dragon provisions, which is worth the exact same amount, and you get 5 experience, uh, just using the 1 hour as an example. Recording a dragon cry shows up if you join a guild and they have the ability to collect flutes. It's very important that you do so as often as you can. That's what we have the dragon set up on now. You also have skill training, which if you have a dragon you really appreciate and you want them to be a combat uh, booster for you, you need to upgrade their skills. The level 1 skills are fairly powerful, but if you want them to put out a significant amount of damage, you need to upgrade them. The combat skills do vary quite a bit from magic to physical and several other buffs that you can get. Uh, Another thing to make your dragon more powerful is this statistic page where you do your dragon training or your dragon taming. You can feed them through dragon provisions found here at the top, this dragon provisions thing. I'll show you how to, or tell you how to get the ones that you gathered on the dragon process page here in a minute, and then potential provisions. Uh, you distribute your points here. As you level up, you get about 3 per level, and you can distribute them here. It's a percentage boost, not a direct increase in the same manner that it is for a character. So it'll modify their base statistic, and then your charisma will also modify that base statistic. You would save your changes here with this down arrow key, and you can reset abilities with this other one, or undo your changes if you have made any with this clear modifications button. At the top, if you want to feed them to level 10, it would cost me 222 dragon provisions, which would come out of this total amount up here. After hitting level 10, you can sacrifice a dragon for a potential provisions. If you want to view it this way, you're basically feeding your dragon to another dragon. Um, uh, Considering the game's Kronos the Devouring Dragon, honestly, that's the way I see it. You would upgrade the highest taming level, thus feeding that dragon to another to increase their highest taming level, allowing you to gain more ability points and continue leveling up the dragon over that 25 limit. The next page is field training. where you can put in 2 dragons to basically go on a team building exercise to swap skills. For example, Ashrock has full skills, so he can't learn anything anymore, but even still, the Crimson Blackblood does not have anything that he does not have. It does have a lower skill than the Ashrock. I'll use this example. Elemental Pulse is level 6 on the Ashrock, but level 1 on the Crimson Blackblood. That means that during field training, the team building exercise, it can learn up to level 6 from the Ashrock during the exercise. If we use another dragon, you'll see the different results. Crimson Blackblood can only learn Ore from this pairing, and the Phantom can learn several of the skills that the Blackblood has. You also get these items down here. It's very similar to Dragon Process, but lower in quantity. You can get experience, provisions, and unknown meat chunks. In Lair storage, this is where you would find your dragon provisions. You would take them out the same way I'm about to show you. They don't end up in your inventory, dragon provisions that is. They would only end up in your dragon training page at the top, like we saw before. An unknown item you would pull out. You can either do it by quantity or simply hit the infinite button to take out everything. They come out in stacks of 100 and they end up in your bag. We'll take out a couple of these here, and they end up in my inventory. You can break down items. I don't have any at the moment to break down, and they would become other materials, but a breakdown would basically be holding Control and Alt keys and then clicking item. If you do hover over an item, it'll give you the breakdown of what you'll actually receive from that item. And unknowns, like unknown meat chunk or unknown ores, will break down into things like tender minced meat. You can use those things for crafting higher quality items. The unknown flutes that you would receive from Dragon Process are for summoning rare dragons. You have to break them down. You'll get them in different qualities of colors, ranging from gray, which is worthless for anything but crafting in the future of the game. White flutes are for summoning common dragons, and green flutes are for summoning commons and some of the mini-boss dragons. Blues are for summoning dungeon rares and ancients, and occasionally a mini-boss. And then the purple flutes are the exact same thing as the blue. However, they come with 10 slots automatically, and you can tame them. They are significantly harder to catch. They do require you to make sure that you prepare with charisma potions, which you can craft or buy off the auction house. Food, specifically cream soup, gives charisma. There's different levels of it applicable to your character. And then last but not least, the guild buff. There's also Dragon Drive Potion, which can be found on the marketplace. Occasionally you'll get sealed flutes from these unknown flutes. You can use the shells you get from completing daily quests to get that. That's also on the marketplace. If you look there under the Dragon Insignia Market and Dragon Tools, seal breaking power. It takes about 2.5 days, considering you can get 100 shells per day to get this. Going back to Lair, last but not least, we have Lair Journal, and it's just a breakdown of what you can do. But field training, if you put them in here, and I'm actually going to spend a little bit on this just to show it. Oh, I don't have enough. That's alright. Anyways, you would basically hit the button down here if you have 3, or force if you have an FSC. This path in the middle will actually turn blue, and then it'll give you an actual report as to what happened and what you received. It is a very large gamble. Dragon builds. This one specifically is an intelligence build, this Ashrock. I have it training. For example, paralyzing currents up to 3250 in damage. That's not to include the fact that he'll have a bonus to magic damage when he comes out from Elemental Pulse. But then stuns are very good. Things like Elemental Sweep to change physical to magic damage can be used on Intelligence Dragons to keep them equivalent on their damage. And also anything that has a stun or paralysis is very good. Putting heals on a dragon, particularly an Int dragon, is a good idea. And then trying to build elite dragons, if you're interested in crafting, is another build you can do. There are several types of builds, including using sweeps, specifically like power sweep, and pairing that with other sweeps, or building strikes together to build a strike dragon. There's also some interesting skills like Ripping Strike, which is not only a strike but also bleed, and then you add in things like Mighty Strike. It'll actually make that more powerful, or your strike more powerful, and then this Ripping Strike actually has a dot on top of the strike as well. That's why they're passive skills, and so on his normal strike attacks he'll add that in. But for example, on Fire Hunting, it's automatically magic, and it's a sweep of its own. It's an actual active skill. But Elemental Sweep is actually changing normal sweeps from physical to magic. Just pay attention to the text. Ask your guild, and good luck out there.